Let me show you something other cool stuff, which is called code as a policy. It's a similar innovative technology like world models. What you see here is the humanoid robot, the Fourier GR2, that is executing a task. It was not pre-programmed, and it's also not executing a trained model. What it's doing here, it's using a large language model as a coding agent to write a program for the robot that is then executed on the fly. We're leveraging here an open source project called CapX, which was originally built for robotic arms. And Vincenzo, you can see here in the video, adapted it for the humanoid and got it successfully running, so great job there. You can actually find Vincenzo out there and ask him all the questions about CapX. But the cool part is, again, it's using not a trained model, no pre-programming. You can use natural language to program a robot program on the fly. It works like this. So a task, right? Task description, grab an object, grab the black box from the box above. And this is then sent not to one coding agent, but actually to 3 different coding agents. So we get basically the result of 3 brains. And then the ensemble agent picks the best result, puts the program together, which is then executed on the robot. And on the robot, of course, it needs to also leverage the hardware, right? So it needs to have access to APIs of the robot. It needs to have access to computer vision libraries, other models. But the cool part is, similar like OpenClaw, it will actually self-improve and empower itself. It can download models. It can download other libraries when it's needed, right? And the cool part is you have a feedback loop. So you have a visual observation. You can mount a camera that is observing what the robot is doing. And this is, you can see with the visual differencing model, it's basically looking what the robot is doing and gives feedback into the system. And we have kind of a self-improving agentic loop. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
So yeah, it is. I mean, all these kind of things, we apply it in the labs. It's part of our research program, as well as part of the PSA big funding program that we have from Europe about not only the building of the edge computing platform for Europe, but also the use cases on it that are mostly about robotics and physical AI. But we apply all this kind of output also to real use cases and to projects for customers.
Exactly. So there's a pretty cool one I wanted to show you. It's part of the project Amadeus. It's meant for disaster recovery, and Roboverse Reply is taking part there with a bunch of other institutions. And what Roboverse is providing here is their Cascade platform, which allows to use natural language to orchestrate multiple robots. So think about there's a natural disaster, a flood or something, everything is broken down, no connectivity, nothing there. And basically, you can use the Cascade platform to simply use natural language to send the robots into the disaster area. So you can use ground robots, but the cool part is they also have heavy lift drones in that project, which can bring a 5G antenna into the disaster area to restore connectivity there, right? Which is, I think, pretty nice.
Yes, it is. I mean, restoring connectivity in disaster, I think, is one of the coolest use cases that I've seen on robotics.
Yes, for sure. And also we have our friends from Autonomous Reply with the autonomous drones like DJI Dog and other ones where they're leveraging sensor fusion with LiDAR, RGB, thermal infrared camera for precise localization. And lastly, we had Axelus, right, showing the airport security solution, which is deployed at scale at multiple airports in Munich, in Frankfurt, and they're expanding to other airports right now. So this is computer vision at scale, now also in the perimeter with ULD tracking, with package flow tracking, also checking the gates and all of that. So deployed computer vision solution at scale at multiple large airports, right? And of course, we could show you much more client projects, but I think also a great testimonial is the teams constantly are winning awards. In fact, next week they're taking part in the LRUP challenge. So everyone, let's cross the fingers that the team brings home another award.
Yeah. So as you have just seen, drones and specialized robots, they are already very operational. We have a lot of humanoid robots already available in our labs and getting the others. So we try to be a sort of humanoid robot aggregator in order to check them. Programmable, flexible enough in order to be adapted to the world that is designed by humans for humans. But getting a humanoid robot to do useful stuff is not an hardware and software problem, it's a training problem.
It is very much a training problem. And you can, of course, start training by gathering data. And you can actually also use a YouTube video, what we did here, to actually have a person that is dancing in the video. We can extract the motion, the kinematics of that. Then we can train a custom model, a policy, which we then test in simulation. You can see the simulation there, because when it falls over in simulation, it's for free, right? But when it falls over in the real world, it can be expensive with these humanoids. So be careful with that. But once it's perfect in simulation, we deploy it from simulation to reality. And this guy you can actually see in London live dancing. So go check out the team and have a dance with the G1.
Yeah, I mean, it's not magic. You have seen these, obviously, and it's something that you can build as a skill on top of those humanoid robots. But a lot that you can do is also not using videos, but directly using teleoperation for the skills.
Exactly.
Right?
And you can see that here, Brigitta wearing a VR headset, she can see the video from the robot in real time, and also her hands are mapped to the robotic hands, right? And we can also capture the training data. We can capture the egocentric video, also all the motor joint positions to then do what?
Policy.
Policy training, of course. We can train a policy and then deploy what was previously done remotely operated as a new autonomous operation onto the robot. This you can actually see outside here in Munich in the demo area. Say hi to Brigitta, Vincenzo, and Simone, and ask them all your questions.